Hi, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nick Cosgrove, and I am back with my new coaching reality series called From a Coach's Perspective. Today, I want to talk about somewhat of a controversial topic, and that's when you should fire your personal trainer. Now, the reason why this topic is so controversial is because a lot of people out there have developed somewhat of a personal and intimate relationship with their coach or trainer over the years. Now, I don't mean a sexual relationship, I mean somewhat of a friendship. I mean, how could you not? When you're working with someone one on one or even in a small group setting, you're going to learn things about that person, whether it's in their personal life, their work life, or just overall, just working with someone in a capacity and talking to them day in, day out. You're going to learn things about that person. And you know what happens is the person, you, the client, is putting a lot of trust and faith in the trainer to help you improve your overall health and well being. And as a trainer, I take my job incredibly seriously. And I always try to maintain a high level of professionalism with all my clients, regardless if I've worked with someone for 5 days versus 5 years versus 20 years. It doesn't matter. Everyone gets the same level of service. Okay. And to me, it's so important because you, the client, if you're one of my clients, you're trusting me with your health. You're trusting me with your physique. And I take that very seriously. And I feel there's a lot of trainers out there that don't take that as seriously. And as they build up a relationship with their client over the years, they take that relationship for granted. All right. So I'm going to list off 8 reasons why I believe clients should fire their trainers. And if any of my in-house clients are listening to this or watching this today, you have my full permission and support to fire me if I'm doing any of these 8 reasons. Okay. Because I've always tried to be as professional as I can and really give my clients the utmost amount of my undivided attention, even in a group class, in a private session, in a partner session, even online. All right. If I'm working with that person, I'm locked in with that person. And I believe that every trainer out there should. And there are a lot of good coaches out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to shit talk coaches and throw people under the bus. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just saying, though, if you are an individual out there who has a trainer and you're starting to second guess and say, hey, is this what I originally signed up for? Is this person still meeting my expectations? And, sometimes you can be blinded by the fact that you really like this person. And you could really like this person on a personal level. This person could be a great person to go out and have a drink with or go out for dinner with. But is it a person that you want to trust with transforming your physique and improving your overall health? All right. So that's a question that you should ask yourself. And you should constantly reassess and say, hey, am I still, are my expectations still being met? All right. So I'm going to go through these 8 reasons today. And like I said, this is not to throw anyone under the bus. It's not to shit talk any trainers out there. There are a lot of great trainers out there, um, many that I work with to this day. But there are a few that slide between the cracks. And, I'm going to call them out on this I'm hoping that, because I'm hoping from putting this out there that more people who have trainers and coaches will be looking for these signs and going, oh yeah, my trainer is doing this. Maybe I should have that conversation with the person. All right. So I'm going to list them off. And yeah, if you have any questions, you have any comments, you can always DM me. My Instagram, @fitcosgrove_. You can always leave a comment below. I'm always happy to talk to people. Email me at nick@foreverfitperformance.com. Or even if you're looking to work with an online coach or in-house personal trainer, I'm always working with everyone. Okay. I truly enjoy working with people, and I really do appreciate all the support and feedback I receive from putting out this YouTube channel. All right. So, reason number one why you should fire your personal trainer: your trainer consistently shows up late. Now, I'm not talking once every few months or once a year. All right. I understand things happen. Someone gets stuck in traffic, someone sleeps through their alarm. Maybe they're dropping the kids off at school and they get caught up talking to a teacher. I get it. Okay. So things do happen. I understand that. And it works both ways. Sometimes clients are late too. Okay. But remember, you're the client. This is the time you're paying for. Okay. So technically, you can be late. The trainer shouldn't be late. So if your trainer is consistently late, that trainer is showing you that they don't respect your time. Their time is more valuable than your time. And to me, that is a red flag. All right. And it's a big red flag. So if you have a trainer that is consistently late, okay, and I'm talking like 2 out of 3 sessions a week, that to me is a red flag, and it's a conversation that should be had. Okay. And if that trainer cannot get their act together and get themselves to the gym on time for your session, it might be time to look for a new trainer. Okay. Reason number two: your trainer consistently ends your session early. This I see happen a lot. Trainer gets you through the workout, everything that he or she had planned for that day, and they're still 7 minutes on the clock. A lot of trainers, what they'll do is, we'll see you next week. Whoa, hold on a second. In my mind, you paid me for a 60-minute session. You're going to get 60 minutes. That's what you paid for. That's what I'm giving you. Okay. If you want to end the session early, which sometimes does happen with my clients, they do want to end the session early. That's on them. Okay. That's not me. That's on them. But if I still have 7 minutes on the clock, let's say I've designed a chest and back workout for someone and they finished earlier than expected. And I say, you know what? We got through this workout a lot quicker than I thought. So I'm going to give you a few options here. Option A, we can do a mini ab circuit. Option B, we can do some PNF stretching, perpetual neuromuscular function stretching, where I stretch out the client, not stretching that the client can do on their own. So I'm still adding value to the session because the client has paid me for the designated time slot, whether it's 60 minutes, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, that client is getting their full time they paid for. All right. And I feel that every trainer should be making sure that the client is getting the time they paid for. So for those trainers that show up late for your sessions, if you show up 3 minutes late, if the client still has 3 minutes after your session to spare, because some people are on a tight schedule themselves and they got to be out that door. But if your client does have the luxury to stay for an extra 5, 10 minutes, you should be giving them that time. Okay. So cutting sessions early, another red flag and another reason to fire your trainer. All right. Reason number three, trainer talks too much about his or her personal life. You know the problems they're having with their girlfriend or boyfriend. You know the financial problems they're having at home. You know they're having problems with their landlord. Their dog is sick. Their cat is sick, whatever it may be. You know way too much about your personal trainer's personal life. Now, there's nothing wrong with every once in a while just talking to the person in between breaks. I get it. You want to know more about the person. You're in a conversation. I understand that. But if you know so much about your trainer, that tells me that that trainer has been yapping, yapping, yapping more about themselves than your actual workout. All right. So again, this comes down to what are you paying for? I have clients that talk to me. That's fine. I know a lot about my clients' personal lives, but it's their personal lives. I don't give out all kinds of information about my personal life. I mean, if someone asks me a question, I'll answer it, but the session's not about me. This is not my time. Okay. It's not my time to talk about my problems. All right. So I always try to keep a level of professionalism and make sure that I keep my personal life personal. My personal life is separate from my business life. All right. And I feel that a lot of trainers kind of cross that boundary because I hear trainers talking about, oh man, I got so hungover this weekend. I went out, I drank so much, and then I met this girl and all. Well, why are you giving this information to your client who's here to work out? All right. You should be teaching correct form. You should be teaching correct technique, which I'm going to get to in a bit. You should be implementing different strategies into the training protocol, drop sets, supersets, circuit training. You should be keeping a watchful eye and know, hey, should I be increasing the person's weight? Should I be decreasing the weight? I shouldn't just be standing there and counting reps. All right. So reason number three to fire your trainer, if you know far too much about that trainer's personal life, and that personal trainer gives you far too much information that you really don't need and is not offering you any benefit to transforming your physique or improving your health, that's a reason for another conversation and another reason to probably send that trainer his or her papers. All right. Reason number four, trainer badmouths other trainers. Now, I know you might be thinking that's what I'm doing right now, but I'm not. As I said earlier, there's a lot of great trainers out there, tons, many that are better than me, for sure. Absolutely. I'm not the best in my field. I've never claimed to be. Actually, I put up an Instagram post talking about why I'm not the best the other day. So I'm not bad mouthing trainers, okay? But there are, just like in every industry, there's always someone who graduates at the bottom of their class, okay? There's always someone that is not a professional. All right. And unfortunately, in this industry, in my industry, the fitness industry, there's a lot of flaky people. All right. That's why I always compare my industry to hairdressers and real estate agents. There's a lot of flaky people in these industries. Okay. There's a lot of flaky people in every industry. But I feel like with my industry, especially, people take it, like I said, they take their relationships with their clients for granted, showing up late, cutting sessions early, talking more about their personal life. And in this case, again, bad mouthing other trainers. So to me, when you badmouth someone behind their back, it shows how insecure you as an individual truly are. Someone who is confident in their services, who is confident in what they bring to the table is not going to badmouth someone who, even though they know they're not professional, is not going to say that to their clients. And I can tell you firsthand, this has happened to me on numerous occasions when I've been working with people on the floor in different gyms, and I've had clients notice how other trainers are training their clients, and they will say something. And I just don't comment. I say, well, I don't know enough about their situation. I don't know why that trainer is giving that client that exercise in that way, even though I know it's wrong, and even though my client knows it's wrong. I don't say anything because it's none of my business. And by me jumping on the bandwagon and saying, oh, yeah, that trainer's an idiot, or that trainer is, the lacks professionalism, telling my client that shows that I'm insecure and I don't need to do that. So I don't badmouth other trainers. If clients see that the trainer is not a professional and that the trainer is showing up late or the trainer is ending sessions early, like I said, I have clients that see that with other trainers and comment on it. I don't say a word. It's just not my place, right? But I'm telling you, as someone who is a coach, if you have a trainer that's doing these things, you should really be reassessing whether you want to work with this person. All right. So bad mouthing other trainers, that's a sign of insecurity. And who knows what that trainer's saying about you behind your back? They could be talking to their next client about you and saying, oh man, I hate training that guy. Or, oh, I don't know why he can't lose weight. He cheats on his diet all the time. And I don't badmouth any of my clients. I really don't. There's no reason to. I'm here to help my clients. I don't badmouth other trainers. Okay. It's at the end of the day, if you badmouth someone in your profession, it just makes you look like you're not a professional. So to maintain that level of professionalism, I don't badmouth other trainers. And I don't think it's a good idea to badmouth anyone in any industry. Let the client decide for themselves whether he or she wants to work with that trainer moving forward, which is why I'm putting out this episode today to give you some insight from a coach's perspective as to what you should be looking for and which red flags to watch for if you're working with a trainer or if you're working with a trainer you've been working with for years. Okay. All right. So, reason number 5, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons. The trainer never corrects your form or your technique. There are so many times that I have watched trainers in the gym demonstrate an exercise, and the way they demonstrate it actually is pretty good. I'll give them credit. It's textbook, it's perfect. But then when their client does it, it doesn't look anything like the way the trainer showed it. Now that's okay. You're the client. You're new to this. That you're going to make mistakes. That's why you hired a trainer. But for the trainer to go, yeah, that's right. Keep going. And then they start counting your reps. I'm like, well, no, that's not right. Don't keep going. You're going to injure your back. You're going to hurt your knee, whatever it may be. So you stop the client from doing the exercise and you revamp the technique, you give them some cues, and you go back. And I do this with clients time and time again. You ask any of my clients whenever they learn a new exercise, especially when it's a complex exercise, there's a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of stop and go. And sometimes, I'm sure there are people that get annoyed with me and it's like, oh, let me just do the damn set. I'm like, I'm not going to let you do the damn set until it's perfect. All right. And then we're going to do it again and again and again until it's textbook. All right. Because when it comes to exercise selection and when it comes to exercise technique and form, I'm a perfectionist. And it's not because I want to be this great trainer. It's because I want to make sure that you as my client or you as my client, I should say, are going to achieve results with your health and your physique, and you're not going to get injured. All right. So if your trainer is not correcting your form or correcting your technique, that is a huge red flag. And if these 8 reasons, that to me is the number one reason as to why you should fire your trainer. All right. So watch for that. If you feel like, hey, this really hurts my lower back, and you tell your trainer that, and they're like, well, just keep going. It'll get better eventually. I'm like, well, no, that's not the answer. Okay. The answer is either let's tweak this, let's change this, let's change this plane of motion, let's change this range of motion. That's not working. Let's provide an alternative exercise for now and go back to this exercise in a few weeks and reassess. That's the correct response, not keep going. All right. So if your trainer's not correcting your form or technique, time to say goodbye to that trainer. All right. Reason number 6, the trainer is constantly looking at his or her phone. Big one, especially in today's age. The only time my phone comes out during a session is if I'm changing the music. Okay, the music in the gym is connected to my Spotify on my phone. If the client has asked me to reschedule a session at the end or reschedule one of their future sessions at the end of a session or during a session, I'll take it out and I'll look at the calendar for them. Okay. That's rare though, because usually I'll just say, you know what, let's do this after the workout. I'll just send you an email with my availability. Let's just do it from there. Okay. So rarely do I even take it out for that. But on occasion, if someone really needs to change the schedule at that moment, I'll do it. Okay. Those are the only times my phone comes out. No other time. There's no other reason my phone needs to come out. Someone needs to get a hold of me, email me, I'll get back to them. Someone needs to text me, I'll get back to them, but I'm not going to get back to them during your session. You're paying me for my time. Okay? So why am I going to give my time that you're paying me for to someone else? It's not going to happen. All right? So the trainer is consistently looking at his or her phone, boom, out the door. If I saw that as a client and it was constant, right away I wouldn't come back. I'm like, there's no way this trainer is locked in onto this workout. Like when I work with someone or when I work in a group class, I could tell you exactly how many sets the person's doing. I could tell you the reps they're doing. I could tell you the weight they're doing because I'm locked into the workout. All right. I'm doing the workout with them. I'm not lifting the weights with them, but I'm in the workout with them. All right. So that's why when I'm done with a session, I feel so mentally and physically exhausted because I'm giving it my all. And let's be honest, trainers, we're not cheap. All right. I know that. I'm not cheap. I'm probably one of the more expensive trainers out there, but I want to make sure that I'm giving the client that I'm working with the best service I possibly can. All right. And I want to take them from point A, never mind to point B, from point A to point Z. All right. And for me to do that, I can't be on my phone. So if your trainer's on the phone, it's a good reason to fire them. All right. Reason number 7. Your trainer never checks in with you outside of the gym. The only time you talk with your trainer is during your sessions. You never hear from the trainer. The trainer never texts you. The trainer never emails you. Hey, how are you feeling after that back workout? How are you feeling after that new leg exercise? Okay. How are you doing with your diet? This goes beyond the 1 hour session. I understand that. But if you're a true professional, you know that one session, that one 60-minute session or two 60-minute sessions, whatever you're doing for your client a week, 2 or 3 sessions, whatever it is, you know that that's not enough to take them from point A to point Z. You know that that client needs to be on their diet. You know that that client needs to be doing their cardio. You need to be checking in with that client, holding them accountable. If you're not doing that as a trainer, you're not doing your job. Okay. So for me, my service goes beyond the 1 hour session in the gym. I will still check in with my clients through text message or through email to make sure that everything's going okay. If they have a question, they know they can email me. If our session's on a Monday, they can still email me on a Friday and say, hey, Nick, what do you think about this product? And send me a nutritional label of a new food they want to do. Or, hey, what do you think about me adding an extra 30 minutes of cardio to my cardio routine this week? So I'm always in communication with all my clients because that's what they're paying for. They're not just paying for that 1 hour session. All right. So again, I feel that a lot of trainers out there just think like this and they don't think like this. And if you can think like this as a trainer, God, there's so many more people that are going to want to work with you because you truly care about helping them transform their physique and improve their health and well-being. Whether they have a physical limitation or a potential or a current injury they're dealing with, a health condition, they know that you care about helping them. And it goes beyond just them paying you. It's just that you truly care because if you are passionate about this job as a trainer coach, you want your clients to succeed. All right. So you're going to do everything you possibly can to help that person succeed, which means that you are going to check in with them, even though you don't have a session booked in the gym that day. You are going to help them with their diet. You are going to answer questions with supplements. Of course, this is your job. Okay. So if your trainer's not checking in with you outside the gym, you might want to think about maybe working with another trainer. All right. Because those 1 or 2 hour sessions a week are not going to be enough to help you get from point A to point Z. All right. The last reason the trainer's workouts are not getting you results. You've been working with this trainer for a year. You haven't seen any changes in your physique. Now, granted, this could be partially on you. If the trainer is giving you the best workouts he or she can, they're pushing you to the limit. They're giving you everything they possibly can. And then you go and you shit the bed with your diet, order a pizza and have a few beer. That's on you. All right. So for me, though, this is why it goes back to that last one, is why I constantly check in with my clients. Hey, what's your post-workout nutrition going to be? What's your pre-workout nutrition going to be? What did you do this weekend? I don't mean what did you do? Did you have fun in the club? I mean, what did you do with your diet this weekend? What did you do with your training? I don't give two shits about what you did with your personal life. I want to know what you're doing with your diet. I want to know what you're doing with your supplements. I want to know what you're doing with your cardio. Are you getting any more extra resistance training workouts outside of our time together? All right. Same thing I do with my online clients, right? It's the same thing. So the reason I want this information and this data is because it helps me push them more and me remind them and say, well, you're training really hard in the gym. We're pushing it really hard. But every time you leave here, you shit the bed with your diet. And if you stop shitting the bed with your diet, you would actually maximize your results with your physique and your health. So I remind them. I don't guilt them. I remind them. All right. So if you have someone you're working with and you guys go in and you do the same workout day in, day in, day out, weights stay the same, exercises stay the same, you stay the same. That is not progress. Okay. That is not holding you accountable. You're not moving forward. I compare it to being in school. If you're in school, you start in kindergarten, you go to grade one, you go to grade two, you go to grade three. You don't stay at grade one. If you stay at grade one your whole life, you're never going to progress. You're never going to succeed. Okay. So you want to be pushed beyond your limitations. And this is why you've hired a coach trainer to help you, hold you accountable, teach you something new, make sure that you can develop the results you want to achieve in a safe and effective manner. All right. So if you're not getting those results physically, internally, it's time to fire that trainer. And I'm not just talking just the aesthetics. And that's why I say internally, because look, there's a lot of people that hire trainers. I have a lot of people that are working with me now who are in their 70s and 80s. They don't want a six pack. They want to be able to keep up with their grandkids. They want to be able to walk up a flight of stairs and not have to stop and catch their breath. They won't want to have joint pain. They don't want to have to get a hip replacement. Okay, that's their goal. So I still take that goal just as seriously as someone who's training for a bodybuilding show. That doesn't change. That goal to that person whose goal is, hey, I want to be able to walk up a flight of stairs and not be out of breath. I want to be able to pick up my grandkids. That goal to that person is just as important as the goal is when I'm working with one of my competitors for a bodybuilding competition. One goal is not more important than the other. Okay. Both goals are equally important. And as a coach, when I'm working with that person, the bodybuilder, when I'm working with the elderly person who wants to keep up with their grandkids, I take both goals the same, just as serious. And I try to troubleshoot and help the person achieve those goals. All right. But in order for me to do that, I have to create a program that I know I can customize for that individual that I believe is going to help them achieve those results with their health and their physique. Okay. So if you're not getting results with the trainer or coach, and you know it's not on you, okay, this is important because you don't want to throw the trainer under the bus if you know that like my trainer is really good. My trainer has been, really trying everything he or she can, helping me with my diet, pushing me in the gym, but it's on me. I'm not doing my extra workouts. I'm not getting in my steps. I'm cheating on my diet. That's on you. So if you're someone listening to this, like, yeah, it's my trainer, but really it's you, then don't blame the trainer for that. Okay. Because as trainers, we can only do so much. All right. I always say this, I never take credit for my client's success. I can only give you the tools to help you achieve those results, but I never take credit for someone's results. So if someone wins a bodybuilding show, I don't pat myself on the back. If someone loses 50 pounds, I don't pat myself on the back. I'm doing my job. I'm giving you the tools that you need to succeed. All right. If you choose not to use those tools, well, that's on you, the client. All right. But those are the 8 reasons that I believe you should fire your personal trainer. All right. Now, if your trainer is doing everything great and you have a great relationship with your trainer, well, then keep working with that trainer. Because I can tell you right now, trainers like that, they book up very quickly. And you don't want to lose that trainer. All right. So, like I said, there's a lot of great trainers out there. I've learned a lot from a lot of trainers I've worked with over the years. And I feel like for a lot of clients out there, it's very difficult because you do start to develop a bit of a relationship with the person and it almost becomes like a friendship. In many cases, it is a friendship. And I understand it's difficult to fire your friend. I get it. But you have to remember that you are paying for these sessions. Okay. You have expectations. There is a level of professionalism that needs to be set. Okay. And needs to be maintained. Okay. I'm not saying that you should just keep it like always professional and never talk about what's going on in your life. That's between you and your trainer. That's fine. But If you're not getting results, if your trainer's consistently showing up late, if your trainer's consistently checking their phone, if your trainer's consistently cutting the workout short, not correcting your form, not correcting your technique, these are all red flags. Wake up, fire your trainer. Anyway, that's it for this week's coaching reality episode from a coach's perspective. As a reminder, if you have any questions related to your diet, your training program, supplements you are currently taking, not taking, or considering taking, please feel free to email me those questions at nick@foreverfitperformance.com, or you can DM me on my Instagram at fitcosgrove_. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting my YouTube channel, my no filter Q&A, which comes out every Monday, coaching reality series, which comes out every Wednesday. I really do appreciate all the support and feedback that I receive from each and every single one of you. And I want to keep this channel going. So please like and subscribe and give me any comments, feedback. I'm always love hearing from people. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I will see you all next week. Bye for now.